Now, there's nothing more depressing than a bus going past with, instead of our happy faces on
Yes.
it, a little poster declaring that Halloween ends is about to open. And I just thought, as soon as you see the word ends, and that you go, probably not. It's probably the beginning again. Anyway, so I can tell from your body language that this is not going to be a rip-roaring success.
Okay, well, let's just do the background. So obviously, John Carpenter's Halloween is the thing that kicks off the slasher cycle that then gives you Friday the 13th. Obviously, it refers back to, I know there's things like Bay of Blood and Mary Barbara beforehand, but it creates that, end of 70s, beginning of the 80s, big slasher hit cycle. It's incredibly important. It has a string of sequels which are, increasingly not important. Halloween 2, in which Carpenter is involved as a scriptwriter, so there are arguments made for that. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, which is completely standalone. Then a whole bunch of other stuff, Return of Michael Myers, blah, 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 nobody cares. Then we get things like these sort of weird reboots. We get Halloween H2O, which kind of overrode 4 to 6, and then you had the new versions, which was the David Gordon Green one, which when that happened, Jamie Lee Curtis was interviewed by you, and we spoke about how surprisingly what had happened was that they had reinvented the Halloween franchise quite interestingly and turned it into a film about PTSD. Yeah, and
I remember.
And Jamie Lee Curtis was now very much at the sort of the helm of it. She was very centrally involved in the production. Hooray, hooray, hooray! Then it turns out, it's the first of a trilogy, and as you said, no, it ended.
A trilogy.
The trilogy. It was American trilogy.
Okay,
you're fine. You said no, it ended. Halloween ended.
It did.
Yeah, and then I said no, there's going to be 2 more, and so then there was Halloween Kills, which effectively undid all the good work of the original Halloween. Jamie Lee Curtis was in hospital. Michael Myers not dead. It's all going off again. Blah, 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 blah. Nothing scary, nothing interesting, nothing that made any sense. So it was like one of those Return of Michael Myers movies. Now, Halloween ends. Okay, so we start well. There is a very interesting opening sequence, babysitter in Haddonfield having to look after an annoying kid who won't go to bed, wants to watch The Thing on television. Think John Carpenter, blah, 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 Horrortron. Opening sequence, something happens that I didn't expect. And wow, okay, I'm there. Boom, let's do it. And then 10 minutes in, it's just back to the usual stuff. Laurie's no longer in the bunker. She's now living in a house, writing about overcoming trauma. Can get whiplash from the ways in which she adjusts to all this stuff. Michael is still around because he really is completely impossible to kill. The distributors said very clearly, don't give away any spoilers. So I won't. What I'll say is this time they invoke the Nietzsche, he who fights monsters should see to it that he does not become monstrous, and when you look long into the abyss looks into you. Yeah, right. So there's some half-hearted attempts to kind of add another layer of meaning to, just before you get back to the stuff with the bloke with a knife running around cutting people up in odd ways. And there's a sort of thing about, monsters are made by being badly treated. And there's a sort of thing about Carrie and Carrie's mum going on in the background, which feels very, very derivative. Here's the most important thing. Some of it is gory. The opening is good. None of it is scary. Worse, none of it has any tension whatsoever. And the key thing with the original film was this. All the stuff with the Panaglide and the opening sequence of going around the house and looking in all that thing, and the first reveal of the young Michael. Wow, it's so, and it's not to do with the amount of gore that's on screen. It's all to do with tension. It's all to do with Hitchcock. It's all to do with, let's make it like this. This has nothing of that at all. It's got a little short film at the beginning, which is an opening sequence, which is like, hooray, and then it's just plod, explain, plod, explain, more stuff. Oh, that's interesting, bit involving tongue, joke about record, blah, 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 kill, bang. And I was so it's so bored. It's just ploddingly tedious, and there is also the whole kind of Halloween ends. Does it though? Does it?
I can tell you that I haven't seen it. No, it doesn't.
Here's the worst thing. David Gordon Green is now, even as we speak, working on a new version of The Exorcist, an Exorcist requel, a sequel which reboots in the same way as Halloween, for which Ellen Burstyn has already shot her part and reshot it, I believe. Burstyn did it because she wanted to fund a scholarship program for the Actors Studio, and she said, "I'll do it if you pay me that amount of money." So she didn't do it for love of the thing. And they've already announced that this new version of The Exorcist is going to be the first part of a trilogy. A new and it's like, what is it with the three? You did it once. You got away with it. You did it well with Halloween, okay? It's possible, and this is a treat for people who are watching rather than listening, it's possible that the new Exorcist will be interesting. It's possible that they'll find new ways of breathing life into the story. It's possible that it might actually be good. But 3? No. And this really felt like, okay, you got away with it once. The second time it was disappointing. Now I'm not angry. I'm just fed up. I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
We're only a few seconds away from the reveal of Film of the Week. I think Halloween Ends still stands a chance. I've got a lot of money on that, so we'll see what happens.
That was a great video, wasn't it?
I couldn't take my eyes off it.
No, neither could they.
Do they know, do you think, that they can keep up to date with all things Kermode and Mayo's Take by following us on our socials? Because they're all here below.
Well, they definitely know it now.
That's true.